We don't die of old age. People often fear growing old. But you know what? We don't really die of old age. We die of silence in the soul, prolonged, quiet, unnoticed. Some people pass away at 85. But the truth is, they stopped living at 60. From the day they retired. From the moment they lost their life partner. From the day their children started their own families and became too busy. From the moment no one called their name in the morning anymore. They wake up, eat, sit, and sleep. Every day looks the same. There's nothing left to look forward to. Only the quiet, slowly eating away at their breath. Dear friend, growing old is not what we should fear. What's truly frightening is being alive but unheard. No one asking, "How are you feeling today?" No one to share a story with, even if it's the 10th time they've told it. If you're watching this video and recognize yourself in these words, click subscribe and stay with the Golden 60 Plus channel. We're here to sit with you, to make these post-60 years warmer and more meaningful together. Silence, the invisible enemy of senior health, dear friend. When we talk about health problems in older adults, we often mention high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis. But there's another condition, more silent. It doesn't show up in blood tests, doesn't require medication, but it claims millions of lives every year. That condition is silence. According to a study by the University of California, seniors over 60 who live alone and rarely interact with others face a 45% increased risk of cognitive decline, a 32% higher chance of stroke, a reduced life expectancy by up to 7 years. Chronic loneliness doesn't just affect mood. It physically damages the brain and heart. It raises stress hormones like cortisol, weakens the immune system, spikes blood pressure, and disrupts sleep. But perhaps the scariest part is, you don't have to live alone to feel lonely. Many people live in a full house, yet feel lost in the crowd. Because what kills the elderly isn't age. It's the feeling of no longer being heard, of not being needed, of being forgotten, even while still breathing. Eventually, they start asking themselves, do I still matter? If I disappeared, would anyone notice? If you live with an elderly parent or grandparent, don't let them fade into the background. Speak to them, touch their shoulder, look into their eyes and ask, "How are you today, Mum?" Sometimes a simple question can save a heart that's slowly fading. Silent signs of depression in seniors that families often miss. Did you know? Depression in older adults looks very different from that in younger people. It's quieter, but far more dangerous. There are no loud sobs, no desperate social media posts, no clear cries for help. There's just eating less, sleeping more but always tired, speaking less, sighing when no one's looking. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, about 7% of people over 60 suffer from depression, but more than 70% are never diagnosed. Because we often think, old folks get gloomy sometimes, it's normal. My mom's still fine, just a bit quiet. But sometimes that quiet is because there's no one to talk to. Sometimes eating less is because there's no one to share a meal with. And sometimes sleeping a lot is because they have no reason to wake up. Seniors with depression often blame themselves. I'm a burden. The kids have their own lives. I shouldn't interfere. I'm no help to anyone anymore. And that loneliness wears away at their soul day by day until they fade away, though the body still lingers. As children and grandchildren, we tend to only notice physical health, blood pressure, heart rate, medications. But we forget. Our parents' souls also need a checkup through love. When silence screams, small behaviors that are really cries for help. There are things our elders will never say out loud. They won't tell you, I'm feeling sad. I feel alone. I feel forgotten. Instead, they might clean the house all day, even if no guests are coming, cook more than usual, then say, I just cooked out of habit. Call a grandchild by the wrong name, then laugh it off with, I'm just getting old. Sit quietly by the window for a long time, then walk away like nothing happened. Some start giving away their belongings to their children and grandchildren without being asked. They say, just so you won't have to dig through things later. But really, it's how they prepare for a goodbye that won't be spoken. Some seniors repeat the same memory over and over. Not because they're forgetful, but because they're afraid they'll be forgotten. There was an elderly woman in the neighborhood who used to text her grandson every morning at 7 a.m. Have a good day. One day, he didn't reply. The next day, she didn't text again. Not because she was upset, but because she thought, I must be bothering him. Who comes to mind when you read this? A father who sits quietly on the porch. A mother who keeps tidying it up endlessly. A grandmother who always says, I don't need anything. If so, pick up the phone and call them. Don't wait for a holiday, because your presence today may be the biggest gift they'll receive all year. What helps seniors overcome loneliness? Backed by science and real-life wisdom, dear friend, when we talk about treating depression, we often think of medication, doctors, or therapy. But for older adults, especially those over 65, the answer to emotional emptiness is surprisingly simple. A 75-year-long study from Harvard University revealed this powerful truth. Meaningful relationships are the biggest predictor of longevity and well-being, even more than wealth, diet, or genetics. It doesn't take much. Just things like sharing a meal with someone, a genuine, how are you today? A silent, warm hand to hold. Someone who remembers your birthday without being reminded. From a scientific perspective, regular social interaction in seniors raises dopamine levels, the happy hormone, lowers the risk of dementia, Alzheimer's, and even stroke, improves sleep, digestion, blood pressure, and immunity. In real life, elderly people fight loneliness in deeply human ways. Tending a plant, watching it grow, day by day, caring for a little dog, talking to it, even if it never answers, reconnecting with old friends, reliving moments from the past, and most importantly, having children or grandchildren call just to say hi, no reason needed. No one lives long because they're alone. We thrive longer when we know we still matter. Don't wait until it's too late to say, I'm still here. There's a sad paradox in our modern world. We can text dozens of people every day, and yet forget to check in with the ones who live in the same house. We spend hours chatting online, but hesitate to call our mum or dad, telling ourselves, I'll call when I'm less busy. Dear friend, love doesn't have to be loud, but it does need to be expressed before it's too late. Don't wait until your parents no longer remember your name. Don't wait until those hands are too weak to answer the phone. And don't wait until you're kneeling in front of a cold altar to finally whisper, "I always loved you. I'm sorry for being too busy for too long." Some words, if left unsaid today, will never have another chance to be spoken. Because silence slowly kills the elderly. But even the smallest presence can save a life quietly slipping into loneliness. Start with the small things. A phone call, a meal, a hug. You don't need to be a psychologist to heal your aging parents' loneliness. No need for expensive gifts or poetic words. What older adults need, often, is just a 5-minute call asking, "What did you eat today, Mum?" A humble dinner filled with laughter, a warm hug, without needing a reason, a nod of encouragement, as they tell you the same 1975 story for the 10th time, as one 82-year-old grandpa once said, "I'm healthy not because of pills, but because every day my grandchild calls and asks, 'Grandpa, is it okay to eat eggs every day?'" You see, older people don't want to be kept around out of duty. They want to feel included, like they're still a part of their family's life. So begin today. Visit your parents once a week. Add them to your family group chat. And drop a little message. "Mom, it's such a beautiful day today." Invite them to cook with you, or just look at an old photo album together. Life doesn't always need loud music. Sometimes, a familiar voice is enough to give an elder a reason to wake up in the morning. We can't turn back time, but we can start again today, dear friend. We can't go back to when we were small, cuddled in Mom's arms. We can't return to those afternoons when Dad steadied the bicycle and taught us to balance. Those days are gone, and they will never come back. But we still have today. You still have the chance to call your mother, share a quiet tea with your father, text your oldest aunt just to check in, or simply sit beside someone you love and say nothing at all. No one wants to spend the last years of life in silence. And no one wants their loved one to leave this world as if they never mattered. Perhaps the most precious gift you can give someone is not money, not things, but your presence. A nod, a listening eye, a hug at the right time. If this video made you pause and think of someone, share it as a gentle reminder. Don't stay silent for too long with the ones you love. And if you want more warm, thoughtful reflections like this every week, please subscribe to the Golden 60 Plus channel. We don't just make videos. We listen and walk with you on your journey to a meaningful life after 60. Leave a comment below. Who is the one person you want to call right now? What's something you wish you had said to your parents, but never did? Because maybe your one little message today could heal a lonely heart somewhere out there. Thank you for staying until the end. Wishing you a peaceful day and a life that never has to suffer in silence again.